Hello everyone, this is Clossi and welcome to Daily Game Review number 64. In this game, we have RPablo 6Q versus a Chinese 7Q. You can see that there's squares because the renderer cannot render the Chinese characters, but it's some Chinese letters that I don't know how to read either, so I couldn't pronounce it regardless. Just know that it's Chinese and it's a 7Q versus a RPablo 007 6Q. We got 007 up in here. All right, so we have a 7Q versus 6Q. It's a single digit Q game. So both players, I recommend at this level, start learning to count territory. Many people online, especially English speakers, many people online, underestimate and do not learn how to count territory exactly. And you can start doing it at a decent pace around 5Q. However, I've had students who, if they put in enough effort and understand basic variations, they can do it as weak as 9Q. Therefore, as a single digit Q, go ahead and start practicing how to count territory. I have a video on it, look it up if you need to. Otherwise, ask a friend to teach you, but learning how to count territory is vital at this stage because once you get to the lower single digit Qs, you're going to start learning how to calculate the value of moves and how to calculate in-game to the exact value as close as humanly possible. And to do that, you need to know how to count in general. If you can't count the value of moves, then you can't, or you can't count territory, then you can't count the value of moves and how they affect the territory overall because you don't even know what the territory is. So make sure you learn to count now. It'll save you so much trouble and so much effort later down the road. And then learn to count the value of moves later and then apply that to your games. Also at this level, I expect the basics to start being answered. Maybe not correctly, but at least it's an effort to answer the basic questions. And we're going to see how you guys handle that this game. All right, so we got a star point versus 3-4, and another star point. A basic approach, perfectly fine. It's an open side, so black's going for the stopping white's combination, perfectly fine. White does a long extension, an interesting idea. And black plays this way, so already we can see that black's going for a little inefficient shape because normally you would go into the 3-3 here, or you would play a pincer here in order to make a combination on the left, stop white's combination, take white's point locally, or something like that. However, if we play this way, already we can see that black has a weak group and white's already getting profit by attacking white, or attacking black, sorry. And this is basic variation. It might not go exactly this way, but the general idea is black's getting himself a weak group unnecessarily. You don't want a weak group for no good reason. Here, white gets to attack and get free profit. What did black get? The exchange is good for white. Therefore, I don't like black's idea of the 1-point jump here. White also agrees with me and takes black space and extends. So go ahead and go high to keep the pressure on black. Normally when there's a weak group here, you want to go high so that way you can get more surrounding moves and more pressure and gain some thickness in this area. So low is a little bit inefficient for the attack, but for points, maybe it's okay. But you're not supposed to go for points, you're supposed to put pressure on black. So go ahead and go for the pressure with the high move. Black plays a pincer. This is a little insane, guys. This is a little insane. Black is overplaying now because you are not supposed to invade next to a weak group, because when white attacks you at one side, it'll also attack the other side. So white can easily pull off a double attack here. Even something as simple as this. Make sure black doesn't connect. Black has a weak group on both sides, and white just needs to jump up and start surrounding one or the other, and both will be attacked every single white move. Black, I'm not sure what your idea was, but now white also agrees with me again, and black's getting a second weak group. And white plays this way. No, just go ahead and jump up again with the pressure, especially now. You want more and more pressure on that center stuff. So black is not playing too well so far. We're going to see how it goes. White, you just need to come up and keep them split like so. That's perfectly fine. Black goes up. That is not quite a vital point because white can just simply go here. Normally the vital point is the tiger's mouth. And then you can see that black's also threatening tiger's mouth too. So this is normally the vital point. It threatens a cut, and white will need to defend with some type of move. Perhaps something as simple as here is good enough, because if white tries to jump, well, now black has a cut here and here. So the tiger's mouth is the vital point here, guys. Don't forget that. The tiger's mouth is a vital point. Here is not good enough because white simply plays this shape, and now you don't really have a good follow-up. You can't really threaten anything. All right, so white plays this way. Well, now you're forcing black to take his tiger's mouth white, so this isn't a good exchange. But black doesn't take the tiger's mouth. Instead, black makes a table shape, and now you can see this stone kind of didn't accomplish anything. You could have just jumped and made the table shape directly, but this exchange doesn't really help black, so I'm not sure why black made the exchange. It actually helps white. So this exchange was a little good for white. All right, and white ignores. Now, this is a huge, huge, huge thing that you do not want to do. Do not ignore urgent areas. The big move is the third question. The question 1 is, where's my weakness? Well, white definitely has a weakness in that center group. It is not alive, and it is not out completely. 2, where's my opponent's weaknesses? Black has 2 weak groups now for you to attack and exploit white, so go ahead and do that. It's free to do and very powerful. And the third question is, where's the big move? You just skip both question 1 and question 2, and make sure you do not do that. Get to the urgent moves first, urgent places first. Remember, urgent before big. And this is definitely urgent. Some type of attack here, just around, some type of attack here. I'm not even sure what to do here. Maybe I just keep the attack up over here, and then attack this later. Like maybe attack this later from like here and just surround black and get a lot of profit over here. But the idea is surround black on both sides and help your weak group while you're doing it. Help the weak group and then surround black and do a double attack, and it'll be fantastic for white. A Tanuki is definitely not the thing to do right now. And black also Tanuki, so both players are ignoring the urgent area, so make sure you do not do that. White, when you do not have a base, go ahead and extend far, because you're not going to get a base anyway. You may as well get as much distance as you can to get even a little bit more space. This is inefficient because black can still just go in somewhere and take your base. So this is a good attack, and you still don't have a base because black can just monkey jump in. Anyway, that's a small thing locally. Black plays here, kind of inefficient because white's already low here. Also, you can go here and Sente because it threatens the 3-3, so it's a much better extension. And then when white defends, you would come back and play that, and that would be fine. However, this isn't the biggest side. The biggest side is the left side now, but you can also play on the bottom side in Sente and then extend along the left. You can see black's making a nice combination on the board globally. However, both players are still ignoring the urgent places. So many urgent places on the top half of the board, and neither player is getting to it. White does get this. This is a good exchange locally, but still ignoring the urgent areas. Black, this is not usually good because it's kind of slow right now, because after you play this, you still need to defend, and white has Sente, so it's kind of like you gave up Sente. There's no reason to give up Sente here. Just go here, and it's much bigger than anything white's going to get right here. Also, there's still a little bit of Aji, so it's not completely fine yet. White does get to the next big move, so what if it wasn't for all the urgent moves on the top half of the board, white would be doing good. So white, it looks like your basics are good, your basic opening and strategies are good, but your fighting, you really need to pay more attention to, because the fight here is so important, guys. So important. All right, white does defend, so white's combinations are a little bit better than black's. All right, we play this way. Ooh, black, little misread here. All right, so black's trying to cut off that. So if white doesn't like that, take the tiger's mouth. Tiger's mouth is a vital point. And if black tries to play this way, okay, white. It's another weak group. It's another weak group. This is good for white, because with all these weaknesses up here, black has to defend. White jumps, black jumps. White can just live on the side with some exchange on the side, something like this, and then come back and attack black. Let's say we keep attacking. This is a rough sketch of an example, guys. This isn't the exact variation. When I show a bunch of examples like these that are many moves, it's a general concept, a general idea, a theory of how it's going to go. This isn't the exact moves. I have been called out on that, saying this isn't what would happen in the game. Well, yeah, it's not going to be the exact moves that'll happen, but the general ideas are important to understand. So I give a general sketch kind of what you can expect. But anyway, this is the general sketch of white surrounding black here and attacking black here. The point is, this fight's going to be good for white because black has way too many weaknesses on this board. Also, the territory is good for white on the bottom, and black got nothing where white got the territory. So this is, again, a good exchange for white. So white's been getting good exchanges everywhere. So black's only chance is to try and attack something. And here, black actually got to attack something, but at a very large territorial cost. Now, the difference between this one and this one is because white, when he runs away, will run into black stones, whereas this one didn't. So this is a little bit better for black. So white, you're going to have to start fighting here very carefully. Not well, you get to one, you ignore one urgent move to get to another urgent move, but this one's maybe a little bit bigger because you can die on one move, and that one's not going to kill something in one move. So I think locally this one's a little bit bigger. So you finally did get to the urgent move, but now there's a more urgent place because this one can die in one move. So probably you want to try and do something here. Maybe you could think of a type of sabaki, a sacrifice play, where you sacrifice some to get out with the rest. But I think you just need to get out with something and fight as much as you can in this area. I think that's the best idea here. So you made a little bit of a mistake. You need to recover, and the result's going to be very dangerous and difficult, but that's because you made a mistake. All right, so now white plays here. Normally, you want to surround in a more efficient way. So maybe this would be okay if you didn't have the weak group up here. That means probably you want to surround here, fix yourself first, then you could think of something like this. And if they go down, you can surround this way and get the influence here. But how valuable is that influence? Because you have to defend the corner when he does that. Or maybe here. You have to defend the corner when he does that, and I normally don't like that. So the center, I think maybe it's a little bit better if you go from the side. Ooh, maybe something like this would be perfect. Yeah, I think this is perfect. That way you can also get some side while you're getting the center. Just a different idea of attacking. All right, so you go this way and have to change directions, and that is because you had pushed them towards your weak group, and your weak group is not alive yet, so your profit here is only going to be a defense for the weak group. All right, now black plays. Well, now for sure you can Tanuki this group and attack this side. Maybe not Tanuki the group, but maybe attack this side now and gain profit over here, which you kind of do, but you need to do in a way that helps the weak group, not helps the strong group. So stay attached to the weak group and stay with the combination of the weak group to give the weak group support. Here, black can come out and cut off the weak group, and you're going to get weak again. So make sure you're helping and getting the right ideas down first. All right, so we play this way and this way. Well, make sure you don't lose Sente here, white, because once black lives, you need to get Sente and get back to the left side, or actually get back down here and try and come up with something down here. This is getting a little greedy, and black looks alive in Sente. Yeah, black's definitely alive. Definitely alive. And now black's pushing white up and cutting white apart. Black, not really important to cut here too much. Even if you gain, why not gain 2 stones here? Even if you cut 2 stones, it's not super important because now white can Tanuki and start going back over here. Or just jump and attack this again. Here, though, I understand that you want to try and cut this, but let's see. What if white comes up with something? No, this doesn't even cut. This doesn't cut. So white can just ignore it because this doesn't cut here. So black didn't do anything, and white a little bit better reading, and you could have caught that actually was a mistake by black. All right, so we continue this way, extension, and black comes back and cuts that stone off. Now we want to sacrifice that stone and gain 4th line territory. This would be fantastic for us to get. White instead makes 3rd line territory, not quite as efficient. Actually, he's going to get 2nd line territory because black is going to push him down. So white definitely could have got better profit here. And of course, you get the Hane headed too, so double Hane. Double Hane is the shape here. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and call it quits here. So I think the biggest problems was both players ignored the weak groups. And make sure you get to those urgent places first. The urgent is so important, guys. So for these players, I recommend try and fight more. Try and look at the fights more. And yes, you know where the big moves are. And actually white knew where the big moves were and how to make efficient combinations. And black, your combinations were not so good. So work on your combinations. Also, for both players, don't ignore the urgent moves. Try getting those urgent moves and try fighting it out first. And if you lose, then try and figure out why you lost. It's probably because you messed up the fight, but not because fighting was wrong, but because maybe you attacked in a non-efficient way, or maybe you lost Sente from the attack somehow. But first step is start the fight. Get the fight and try to gain profit, and then learn how to be a little bit better fighter. But if you aren't fighting at all, then you're not going to improve your fighting, and you're just going to ignore. And then when you get to the opponents who do know how to fight and do know how to attack, you're just going to lose pretty much every game because you won't know how to attack. You won't know how to gain that profit. You won't know how to take advantage of their weaknesses. And the weaknesses are very important. So make sure you focus on taking advantage of those weaknesses first and defending yourself first before going to that big move. It'll help you out so much in the long run. And also, don't forget to learn how to count. All right, hope you guys found this review helpful. Thanks for submitting the game. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time.